Hey, it's Steve. I happen to live in Las Vegas. I've lived here since 2004. And if you go to one of the casinos and you play poker there, there's a standard called cards speak. It's not unique to Vegas. It's an aspect of the game itself that a lot of people use as a standard. So cards speak means that the players don't have to call their poker hands correctly at the end. They can just put their cards down on the table, show everybody what they have, and the winning hand is the winning hand. So the cards speak for themselves. So if somebody has a full house, but they mistake it and call it out as two pair, it doesn't matter because the full house will stand. That's what the cards say. This is an analogy for letting the facts of your life speak for themselves. Give the truth a voice in your life, not just your opinions, not just your impressions or your feelings or your desires or your goals, but also give the truth, the facts of your life, a voice. That's something you have to consider, especially when you want to grow. That defines your current location, your current starting point. So the data of your life needs to speak for itself. And one of the problems people run into with personal growth is that they get so focused on their desires and what they want that they turn their backs and get into denial about where they actually are, about what they have to deal with. So if we're talking about the standard of cards speak, well, your current income speaks for itself. Your financial situation speaks for itself. Your bank account, your debt, that gets a voice. Your health and your fitness data, your weight, your workout stats, those get a voice. Your wake-up time in the morning is part of your data. That's part of the cards of your life speaking to you. This is what where you are. It's what you have to deal with. One of the issues, though, when we turn our back on the truth and we try to just go straight to where we think we want to go, is we often don't go in the right direction. We often don't listen enough to what the truth has to say and let it affect us. When you look at the truth and when you let the cards of your life speak to you, it actually helps you get more clarity about what your desires are. When you look at your finances, even if they're ugly, even if you don't want to look at it, look at your debt, look at your bank account, look at your income. Just look at the data and let it speak to you. Listen to it as if it has a voice. See what it says. You will often find yourself getting a lot of clarity about the desires that can stem from that. As a simple example, I just looked at my workouts and I was doing, typically about a 3-mile run each morning. I've been running for many years. And I just looked at how I felt about that. I'm like, what does this 3-mile run say to me? And it said, it's a little weak. Like I could do better is what it was saying to me. And I didn't really want to hear that because I thought, okay, that 3-mile run is plenty. Gets me going for each day, boosts my metabolism, gets me started for the day. I have all kinds of logical things I can say about it. But what it actually said to me when I just listened to the truth of it is that it's a little low, like I could do a little bit better. So then that nudged me in the direction of a different desire. I thought, well, what would happen if I ran 4 miles or 5 miles? And over a short period of time, I just decided to boost it up. So like start running 4 miles, and then now I'm regularly running 5 miles most mornings. Maybe 5 or 6 mornings a week, I go for a 5-mile run, sometimes a little bit longer too. That speaks to me differently. When I run 5 miles, it says, that was good. It says, that was cool. That gives me a bigger sense of accomplishment. Those cards speak differently to me. If it feels more like, okay, this is a full house versus just a pair, it tells me this is a better hand, that's a better match for me right now, at least at this time in my life. The cards speak, standard, that can change over time. Even if you're doing the same thing, it can change what it says to you. An income that felt great to you at one point might start feeling a little low at some point. A level of debt that you once had no problem with might start feeling a little oppressive after a while. Those things can change. The time you wake up in the morning, which might have felt great for a while, may start feeling like, well, I'm sleeping in a bit late. Maybe I want to try becoming an early riser. See how that feels. So look at the data of your life and especially look at what it says to you. It'll speak to you on a logical level, but it will also speak to you on an emotional level. And when you get in tune with the emotions of what the cards of your life are saying to you, it can really help you develop a clearer sense of where you want to go, where you want to go emotionally. This is where you really want to separate the truth aspect from the power aspect. The truth aspect is what you're actually dealing with. The power aspect is what will it take to actually make the change that you desire to make. And a lot of times people mix those together where if they feel they lack the power to make a change, they don't want to look at the truth. Don't do that because it will really hold you back in life. Separate those two. Be willing to look at the truth and listen to the truth, even if you feel like there's no way you can move beyond that. Even if you feel completely stuck, just keep looking at the cards of your life and listening to them and saying, okay, that's a pair. Okay, that's a pair. Okay, that's a pair. I would really love to have a full house, but that's a pair. And just keep letting it affect you. Let it affect you emotionally, because that emotional resonance with what is can really start stirring stronger motivation and desire and energy and creative ideas to eventually summon the strength, summon the power to start making some real changes and get your life moving in a new direction. So have the standard of no denial. The cards speak for themselves. Okay, it's not about calling your hand and pretending it's better than it really is. You can't bluff life. You can't bluff reality. What you have in your life right now, it is what it is, and that's something to accept. And when you accept the results you have, and then you can start defining some new results that you like, that's the invitation to grow. Okay, the common situation where you feel like you just don't have the strength or the power or the creativity, the resources to move beyond your lousy current hand to a much better hand, that's an invitation to up-level your character, to grow stronger, to become someone who is capable of making that journey, someone who is capable of creating that kind of change. That's one of the most beautiful aspects of personal growth, actually, is to accept that invitation even when your current character doesn't feel adequate. Even when you feel like you have no idea how you're going to make that journey, you say yes to it anyway, because you have to recognize that you don't have to be the same person year after year. You can actually grow into a stronger person, a more creative person, more innovative person, a more resourceful person as you go through life.